If you're over 60 and wake up once, twice, or even 3 times every night to use the bathroom, stop blaming your bladder. The real problem may not be your age. It's what you do in the last 2 hours before bed. Most people try to fix nighttime urination by drinking more water, cutting caffeine, or taking supplements. But as a urologist, I can tell you this: those habits might actually make things worse. Your bladder isn't broken. It's confused. And tonight, I'll show you 3 bedtime mistakes that quietly train it to wake you up again and again. The surprising truth? You don't need new pills or expensive treatments. You just need to stop doing these 3 common bedtime habits. Before we start, I want to ask where you are watching from and what time it is. Leave a comment below. If you find this helpful, please like and subscribe to the channel. Mistake number 1. Drinking to flush toxins before bed. For years, many older adults have been told that drinking warm water or herbal tea before bed helps the body flush out toxins. Around 9 or 10 at night, it feels comforting, a small ritual before sleep, a sign of self-care. Maybe it's a cup of green tea or a mug of ginger water, steaming gently in your hands. It feels healthy, harmless, even wise. But for those over 60, this habit often does the exact opposite of what you expect. It keeps your bladder awake long after your mind wants to rest. After 60, the kidneys naturally slow down. Research shows they filter water about 40% less efficiently than they did in your 30s. That means any liquid you drink late in the evening takes longer to process. It lingers, it builds up, and then, right when you reach deep sleep, the bladder sends an urgent signal. You wake up, shuffle to the bathroom, and then try to fall back asleep. But the rhythm is broken. Night after night, this quiet pattern erodes your energy, your focus, and even your confidence. What's more surprising is that many healthy teas act like gentle stimulants. Green tea, even when labeled decaffeinated, still contains small amounts of caffeine and theophylline, compounds that make your kidneys work harder. Chamomile tea seems relaxing, but it increases blood flow through the kidneys and slightly raises urine production. Ginger water warms the stomach, but also stimulates digestion and fluid movement. For a young person, these effects may feel refreshing. For someone over 60, they can tip the balance. The bladder becomes restless, the kidneys stay active, and the night becomes shorter. That's why urologists recommend finishing at least 80% of your daily water before 6:30 in the evening. Your body still needs hydration, but it needs time to process it. If you feel thirsty later, take only 2 or 3 gentle sips of warm water, not a full glass. Think of it as moistening your throat, not filling your stomach. Small changes like this give your kidneys a chance to rest while you sleep. If you often feel dry-mouthed before bed, there are kinder ways to comfort yourself. Try rinsing your mouth with warm mint water or chewing on a small slice of kiwi. The natural enzymes in kiwi stimulate saliva and keep your mouth fresh without flooding your system with extra liquid. Some people keep a warm compress by the bedside and place it over the abdomen for a minute or 2. A gentle cue to the body that it's time to rest, not to filter. Remember, your body still knows how to heal. It simply needs the right timing. Late-night drinking isn't a sign of discipline. It's a misunderstanding of how your aging organs work. Give your bladder the peace it deserves, and it will repay you with longer, deeper sleep and brighter mornings. Small changes tonight can bring you calm for years to come. Mistake number 2. The relaxing routine that backfires. For many older adults, the evening feels like the only peaceful time left in the day. Dinner is done, the house is quiet, and finally, there's a chance to unwind. So they turn on the television, scroll through the phone, or catch up on the evening news, just to relax before bed. It feels familiar, even healthy. But for people over 60, this innocent routine can quietly sabotage the body's ability to rest. What feels relaxing for the mind may actually keep the bladder, kidneys, and nervous system wide awake. According to researchers at Harvard Medical School, exposure to blue light from screens suppresses melatonin, the hormone that tells your brain it's time to sleep, by nearly 80% after just 1 hour. When melatonin drops, another hormone called cortisol rises. Cortisol is your daytime hormone, meant to keep you alert. And when cortisol levels stay high, it interferes with antidiuretic hormone, ADH, the messenger that tells your kidneys to slow down overnight. Without enough ADH, the kidneys continue filtering water through the night, creating urine as if it were still daytime. That's why, even when you stop drinking early, you may still wake up 2 or 3 times to use the bathroom. A Mayo Clinic study in 2021 confirmed this link between nighttime media and nocturia. Older adults who watched stressful or emotional news before bed had double the nighttime urine output compared to those who avoided screens. Their heart rates stayed elevated, and their brainwave patterns showed less deep sleep. In short, the nervous system never fully powered down. The bladder wasn't overactive. It was responding to a brain that refused to rest. So how can you truly relax your body before sleep? The answer lies in shifting from mental stimulation to physical calm. One of the simplest methods, endorsed by the University of California, San Francisco, is soaking your feet in warm water for 10 minutes before bedtime. This small act dilates blood vessels, improves circulation, and signals the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural rest and digest mode, to take over. Adding a handful of Epsom salt helps restore magnesium, a mineral that calms muscle contractions, including those around the bladder. Music therapy offers another gentle alternative. Researchers at the University of Toronto found that listening to slow music, around 60 beats per minute, roughly the pace of a calm heartbeat, lowers cortisol and promotes slower breathing. Within minutes, blood pressure decreases, heart rate steadies, and the mind transitions towards sleep. Some participants in the study reduced nighttime awakenings by more than 25% after 2 weeks of nightly listening. If silence feels better, practice mindful breathing, known as the 4-7-8 technique. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and exhale slowly for 8. A Cleveland Clinic review found that seniors who used this pattern each night for 2 weeks lowered nighttime urination frequency by up to 35%. It works by lowering stress hormones and gently activating the vagus nerve, which relaxes the bladder. The truth is simple. The body cannot rest if the brain still believes it's daytime. Watching TV, scrolling social media, or checking the news tricks your biology into staying alert. But when you dim the lights, quiet your breath, and give your body warmth instead of noise, something remarkable happens. The nervous system resets. Remember, peace doesn't come from the screen, it comes from silence. Turn off the light, soak your feet, and take one slow breath. Your bladder, your brain, and your sleep will thank you. Not tomorrow, but tonight. Mistake number 3. Sleeping cold and still. For many older adults, sleeping in a cool room feels refreshing, even healthy. Doctors often say a lower temperature helps you fall asleep faster. So you open a window, turn on the fan, and pull up a thin blanket. The cool air feels pleasant at first, but after an hour or two, your body quietly pays the price. As we age, our circulation naturally slows, and the muscles that once kept blood flowing easily through the lower body begin to stiffen. When the body stays cold and motionless for too long, blood flow to the bladder and pelvic area decreases, confusing the signals that tell your body when it truly needs to urinate. Researchers at Harvard Medical School have observed that older adults lose body heat 40% faster than younger adults during sleep. This cooling may seem harmless, but it triggers a subtle biological reaction. When body temperature drops too low, the bladder interprets it as internal pressure. It's the body's way of maintaining balance. It releases fluid to restore warmth. In simple terms, your bladder thinks it's helping you when it wakes you up. This is why some people notice that their nighttime trips to the bathroom increase during the colder months or when sleeping under an air conditioner. Cold feet make things even worse. Studies from the University of Pennsylvania found that when the temperature of the feet drops just 5 degrees, blood vessels in the lower body constrict. This limits blood flow not only to the feet, but also to the kidneys, causing an imbalance in how they filter fluids. Poor circulation sends a false signal to the bladder, as if it's full, even when it isn't. The result? You wake up, again and again, for no real reason other than the body trying to stay warm. The good news is that this mistake is easy to fix. Urologists and sleep specialists at Stanford University recommend maintaining a bedtime temperature between 98 and 100 degrees. That's warm enough to promote muscle relaxation without overheating the body. Use a light cotton blanket that traps warmth but still lets air circulate. If your feet tend to get cold, wear thin cotton or bamboo socks. These keep the skin warm without trapping sweat. If you wake up during the night, gently stretch your legs or rotate your ankles for a minute. This small movement reactivates circulation and signals the bladder that it doesn't need to contract. Dr. Elaine Porter, a urologist at Stanford, puts it simply: warm muscles hold urine better because they stay relaxed. When the bladder and pelvic muscles are cold, they tighten slightly, which makes it harder to retain urine. But when those muscles are warm, they remain flexible and calm, allowing the bladder to rest through the night. You don't have to give up your cool bedroom. You just have to keep your body from getting cold. Try adding a heating pad near your feet for the first 15 minutes, or sip a small cup of warm, caffeine-free milk before bed to raise your core temperature gently. Some people place a folded towel under the lower back to preserve warmth in that region. These small comforts tell your body that it's safe, that it doesn't need to wake up and defend itself from the cold. Remember, restful sleep is not about the temperature of the room. It's about the comfort of your body. Keep yourself warm, move gently when you can, and you may discover that your nights become longer, your mornings brighter, and your bladder much quieter. Robert's cold nights. Robert, a retired carpenter from Ohio, used to think his cool bedroom was the secret to good sleep. For years, he kept the thermostat at 64 degrees, just like the sleep article suggested. But every night, he found himself waking up 2, sometimes 3 times, to use the bathroom. He blamed his age, his prostate, even his evening tea, never once suspecting that the chill in the room was the real culprit. One winter night, after his 3rd trip to the bathroom, Robert noticed his feet were freezing. He tried something simple the next evening, a pair of soft cotton socks and a light blanket tucked around his legs. That night, he slept 6 hours straight for the first time in months. Surprised, he repeated it the next night, and the same thing happened. Curious, he asked his doctor, who explained that cold muscles tighten and confuse the bladder into thinking it's full. Warmth, on the other hand, relaxes them. Since then, Robert keeps his room at a steady 70 degrees, wears socks to bed, and wakes only once. Sometimes not at all. I used to think sleep was about comfort, he says, but now I know it's about balance. Keeping your body warm enough to rest in peace. What to do? Before bed, a gentle night. Routine for peaceful sleep. Before you go to bed tonight, think of the next 30 minutes as a quiet conversation with your body. This is when you teach it to slow down, to release the tension of the day, and to prepare for deep rest. A few simple steps can make all the difference, especially if nighttime urination has been interrupting your sleep. First, finish your last drink of water or herbal tea at least 2 hours before bed. Give your kidneys time to rest before you do. If you feel thirsty later, just take 2 small sips of warm water, enough to comfort your throat, not to fill your bladder. Next, warm your body gently. Soak your feet in a basin of warm water for 10 minutes. You can add a handful of Epsom salt, which provides magnesium to relax the muscles around your bladder. As you soak, close your eyes and take slow, deep breaths. Feel your heartbeat settle into a calm rhythm, around 60 beats per minute, the perfect pace for sleep. Then, stretch lightly. Roll your shoulders, rotate your ankles, or raise your heels a few times. These small movements improve circulation, especially to the lower body, where reduced blood flow often triggers false bladder signals. Finally, dim the lights and silence your screens. Let your mind rest from the world. Some people like to listen to gentle instrumental music or practice the 4-7-8 breathing technique. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and exhale slowly for 8. Within minutes, your body enters a peaceful state that tells your bladder, it's time to sleep, not to work. Do this routine for 3 nights in a row, and notice how your body responds. Most people begin to wake up less often by the 3rd or 4th night. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. Every calm evening teaches your nervous system what true rest feels like. Remember, sleep isn't a luxury. It's your body's repair time. Give it the care it deserves, and it will reward you with quieter nights, clearer mornings, and renewed strength for the day ahead. Expert advice and gentle warning. If you've been waking up 2 or 3 times a night, it's easy to think it's just age catching up. But as urologists often remind their patients, nighttime urination is not destiny. It's a signal. Your body is trying to tell you something. Ignoring it, or assuming it's normal, can quietly harm more than just your sleep. Research from the National Institutes of Health, NIH, shows that people over 60 who lose more than 90 minutes of sleep each night because of nocturia have a 25% higher risk of developing high blood pressure and poor balance. That means every extra trip to the bathroom in the dark increases your chance of falling or feeling dizzy the next morning. Over time, this chronic sleep loss weakens memory, slows reflexes, and drains your daytime energy. Doctors from Harvard Health also warn that when you keep waking up at night, your body never enters the deep sleep stage where healing and cell repair happen. This isn't just about feeling tired. It's about long-term brain and heart health. So here's what you need to know. Every time you get up, your nervous system spikes in alertness, and your blood pressure briefly rises. Doing this night after night puts quiet stress on your heart. For seniors already managing hypertension or diabetes, that stress adds up. The good news? It's reversible. Adjusting your habits, staying warm, reducing late-night drinks, relaxing your body before bed, can help your bladder relearn calm. Within a week, many people notice fewer awakenings and deeper, more refreshing sleep. Don't wait for exhaustion or dizziness to force you to act. Listen to your body now. Protecting your sleep is protecting your brain, your heart, and your independence. Your nights still belong to you, if you let your body rest the way it was meant to. Nighttime urination is not destiny. It's your body's quiet way of asking for balance. It's not a sign of aging or weakness, but a reminder that your organs, hormones, and nerves still listen to the habits you build. The bladder, like any part of your body, responds to care, not punishment. When you give it warmth, calm, and time to rest, it learns to stay peaceful through the night. When you fix the small things, the room temperature, your bedtime routine, your late-night drinks, your body begins to change in bigger ways. Sleep becomes deeper, your mornings brighter, your energy more stable. Many older adults who once thought, "This is just how it is," find themselves surprised by how quickly things improve. The human body, even after 60 or 70 years, still knows how to heal when given the right rhythm. Tell us where you're watching from, your age, and what change helped you most. Your story might help someone else finally sleep through the night. We read every message because these stories remind us that healing is a community effort, not a lonely journey. May your nights be calm, your mornings bright, and your body in perfect balance. And remember, peace doesn't come from silence alone. It comes from understanding. Tonight, let your body rest the way it's been trying to all along.